In Corinth, Alexander the Great stands in front of a man who looks no different than any other beggar. People were now gathering around him due to the sheer spectacle that this event produced. The monarch then asked the beggar, "Is there anything you want?" The poor man then fixes his eyes on the young monarch and takes a second to think. The air is filled with tension as everyone tries to guess the answer. "Yes," he finally says. Stand the fuck out of my light. Hello and welcome. In today's video we will be taking a look at the exciting yet baffling life of one of the greatest trolls in history, Diogenes. Not much is known about his earlier years, but we do know that he was the son of a banker and helped his father in many of the banking related chores. According to one legend, Diogenes had gone to the oracle at Delphi to receive guidance. The oracle then promptly gave advice as good as time itself. Debase the currency. What? Debase the currency. Why? Just do it, okay? Okay, why not? It didn't take long for the young Diogenes to get into his first scandal, as he got caught, which resulted in him being expelled from the city and losing both his citizenship as well as his material possessions. Diogenes then took some time to reflect on his actions and concluded that the oracle did not have actual coins in mind, but rather the political currency. Now, we are already off to a great start, but things will only get better from here on. Diogenes, with his newfound wisdom, traveled to Athens, where his slave Manes immediately escaped from him. Diogenes didn't regret the slave escaping and only commented that if Manes can live without Diogenes, why not Diogenes without Manes? It was during this time that Diogenes also became attracted to the teachings of one of Socrates' students, Antitheses. Diogenes asked Antitheses to mentor him, but the latter simply responded with beating Diogenes with a staff. Eventually Antitheses folded, however, and Diogenes became his pupil. It was there where Diogenes would form his disdain for earthly pleasures and would pursue a career of pissing off everyone in Athens. Diogenes was one of the founders of cynicism. The word itself comes from a Greek word literally meaning dog-like, and be dog-like he did. His antics are far too many to feature in a single video, so we'll just have to mention the most noteworthy ones. Considering that he lived up to the ripe old age of 89, and adding to the fact that his whole life was pretty much a shitpost, it is safe to say that you can make a whole book about the man. But here are some of the most hysterical stories about him. To start off with, Diogenes spent his days living in a bathtub. He had no possessions whatsoever, except for a small wooden bowl with which he used to drink water. One day, however, he saw a boy drinking from the river by just cupping his hand. Diogenes then realized how much of a materialist he really was, and immediately threw away his bowl to salvage the situation. Since he did not have a house, he would also have no other place in where to defecate than on the very streets of Athens. Reportedly, Diogenes did not only piss and shit on the busy streets, but also furiously masturbated while looking at the passerbys. One man, however, had missed the memo, and tried to mock Diogenes. He went up to the guy and asked, "Hey Diogenes, if you really are dog-like, then do you also piss on the street, you animal?" Diogenes then promptly responded by pissing on him. But not only would he reserve such actions for the street of Athens, he would also do these things in the amphitheater during plays. Now, to really illustrate how important those plays were in ancient Athens, some women were forced to give birth during those plays because leaving them was strictly forbidden. If you had made your way to the theater, then nothing could excuse you leaving there. So there you are, watching the play, it's the highlight of your life, and then some homeless hobo just comes up and decides to take a shit right next to you. He also apparently even took shit mid-conversation if he felt like it. There really was no stopping this man. Despite his antics, however, Diogenes did not fall behind his fellow contemporaries in wit. The philosopher that he took the highest disliking to was Plato, whose lectures he would often attend just to annoy him. Reportedly, Diogenes frequently argued with him during his lectures. If he wasn't in the mood for argumenting, then he would just sit in Plato's lessons and eat loudly in the front seat. And if he was done, then he would proceed to take a shit and leave. So in a sense, Diogenes was the very first real Sigma. He also had a habit of hogging statues covered in snow and rolling around in hot sand during summer. Just because he felt like it, he also took a liking to taking naps wherever he pleased, usually just sleeping in the middle of the streets if he felt like it. Diogenes was also known for walking around in broad daylight with a lantern and holding it up to people's faces but not saying anything. When asked about what he was doing, he simply responded with, "Looking for a man." Implying that the people he met on the streets did not qualify as men, but rather as rascals and scoundrels. Despite this lifestyle, Diogenes somehow lived up to the age of 89. The sources on his death vary, but there are three main theories. He died from a rabid dog bite, died from eating a raw octopus, or simply just decided that he wanted to die and held his breath until he died. I myself am a staunch believer of the last theory. Before his death, Diogenes had asked just to be thrown over the city walls, no burial was needed. But concerned, the people asked Diogenes if he wouldn't mind if animals started eating his corpse. "Don't worry, give me a stick so I can wave them off." "But how will you do that when you are dead?" "Precisely, Anne, I do not give a fuck. You motherfucking stupid bitch-ass materialist fucking self-indulging idiot bitch." So it was that when he died, the townsfolk just simply yeeted him over the city walls, and that was that. Even in death, Diogenes had remained true to his teachings. And that was the story of Diogenes of Sinope, a man whose teachings are timeless, yet I will not recommend imitating him in every aspect. But nonetheless, thank you very much for watching the video, and I will see you again very soon. Goodbye.